besties, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video is going to be a little different from what I have been posting as of lately. This is the long-awaited life update video. So if you guys want to know what I have been doing, what's been going on with my life, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have been getting so many questions on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and I thought it was finally time for me to address a couple of things and just have an official video. I've talked about it a couple times on like my other platforms, but I felt like it was time for me to talk about it on here. So yeah, so let's move on to the very first question. This is, I feel like, the #1 question that I get is, why did I leave LA? So why did I move back to Stockton? Stockton is my hometown. So yeah, so why did you move back to Stockton? Honestly, I lived in LA for about 3 years and I enjoyed it a lot. Like, LA was fun, there's a lot to do out there, but I just felt like I wasn't okay mentally to really just be out there. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a roommate, which is Karina. As you guys know who Karina is, she's one of my really close friends, and we were living together and it was great. Like, we got along very well, so it was good. But I just felt like I wasn't okay mentally, where I was very, very depressed. Like, my depression and my anxiety was through the roof during that time, and I'm not proud of it whatsoever, because it was the lowest I had ever been in my life, and I just never thought that a person can go that low, but really, like, it can go low. And when you are dealing with stuff mentally, I feel like that just takes a whole toll in your life. And I've always dealt with like depression and stuff like that, so it's nothing new to me. But during that time, I don't know why, it just, something was super heavy in my heart and I was just going through it really bad. Like, I was just not myself whatsoever. I was always very angry and moody, and I was not a fun person to be around, and I felt like I was ruining my relationships of the people around me as well. And just because of like what I was feeling or like going through mentally. So yeah, I just felt like the best decision was for me to come back home. I never thought I was gonna come back home, honestly, because that was never like my plan, for me to move from LA and to come back to Stockton. Stockton is not the nicest place to live in, so the only reason I would ever come back, honestly, was to be with my family. And I don't know, I never really wanted to come back over here, but I just felt like it was necessary for me to be better mentally. And everybody was noticing, like, everybody around me knew that I was going through a lot or going through something. I'm not the type of person to really talk about like my feelings or anything like that, so I feel like that's where I also messed up, where I felt so alone that I started to like isolate myself, and I was making my mental health a lot worse than it probably should have been, because I just isolated myself, because I just felt like nobody understood what I was feeling or what I was going through. So what was easiest for me was to just be alone, isolate myself, and it just made it worse. Honestly, it just made things a lot worse, and I was not happy. I was just not myself. And yeah, so I just felt like I said, the best decision was for me to move back home. That was the only thing that was really gonna make me feel better. And yeah, I talked to my mom about it, and I told her, like, you know what, like, I think it's gonna be best for me to just come back home. And you know, and she had already been telling me, she was telling me like months prior, like, Yvette, I think you should just move back. Like, I don't think you should continue living in LA. Like, I feel like you're not okay. Everybody around me noticed it. Everybody around me knew that I just was not okay. So yeah, and literally, like, I made the decision so quick. Like, it got into my head. I was just like, you know what, maybe I should move back. Maybe this is the right thing for me to do, and maybe it's going to help me a lot more just being around like my mom and my sister and stuff like that. So I just needed comfort, you know. And my family in LA, they tried their hardest also to like try to be there for me, but I don't know, like, I just felt so disconnected from everyone. Not just them over there, but even like my family here, like my parents, my siblings, like everyone. Like, I just did not feel connected to anything or anyone, and I don't know what I really wanted. So I was just like, you know what, let me just move back to Stockton, and I did. And I've been here for about a year. I just hit a year that I've been back home, and honestly it was the best decision I could have made, just because my mental health has been so much better. And now that moves on to the next question, is how am I mentally? And honestly, I've been so much better. Like I said, during that time, it was one of the hardest years of my life, and it was literally like I was screaming for help. And since moving back, I've been so much better mentally. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have my moments, like anybody. Nobody's gonna have perfect days. That's so unrealistic. To just be happy at all times, like, no, that's not gonna happen. So I've genuinely just been so much happier being back home. My mental health is a lot better, and like I said, the right decision was for me to come back home. And I just feel like I've been just doing more stuff for myself, and just feeling a lot more motivated to do better for me. And like, it's just been amazing, like, you know, and having the support of my mom. And this is why I don't like talking about certain things, because I do get very emotional. I'm such an emotional person, but I just get so emotional. And especially talking about my mom, like, what's it called? Honestly, like, I don't know. I just messed up my whole makeup, guys. Oh my god, and I just started this freaking video. But honestly, I don't know what I would do without my mom. Like, she has been such a big help. Like I said, like, moving back home was the best decision I could have made, because she has been such a big help. And she doesn't even realize it. Like, you never realize, like, how much you actually need your mom. I did not think that I was gonna cry, because I feel like I've been so good at not crying because I'm such a crier. But yeah, I feel like my mom has been such a big help. Like, she has helped me with so many things, and like I said, my mental health has been so much better. And I feel like it's one of the big reasons is because of the support that I get from her, like, day to day, you know. And life is hard. Like, life is a bitch, honestly. Like, it's such a bitch. And like, when you have people in your corner that just really genuinely love you and want to support you and just be there with you, and it's like, my mom is my best friend. So I'm so grateful for her, and that she allowed me to come back home and just like be here and try to figure out like what I wanted to do. And I love that lady. She's amazing. She's wonderful. She's such a great mom. And like I said, I don't know what I would do without her. And I'm so like glad that I'm not in the state that I was before. And I'm a lot better, because I feel like when you go through stuff like mentally, you don't realize like how you treat people around you. And it's like, that's the hardest part. And I feel like for me, I was treating the people around me horribly, and a lot, you know, like, they don't deserve that. But I feel like when you are not in the right place, you take out your anger, your frustrations with all the people around you. Like, that's usually what happens. And it sucks, and it shouldn't be like that, but a lot of the times it is like that. And yeah, and I feel like my mom, she has always just been here to try to understand where I'm coming from, and tries to give me advice as much as she can. And I appreciate her for that, and I appreciate everybody around me, because they were so patient with me when they didn't have to be. And now that I'm like a lot better, like, I realized that I was not appreciative. Is that the word? I wasn't appreciating the people around me, and I wasn't taking into consideration of other people's feelings, and I was such a bitch. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a bitch sometimes, but not as big of a bitch as I was before. And yeah, but mentally I've been doing so good, and I'm just grateful that I'm here today, because like I said, when you are not good mentally, you have the most horrible, darkest thoughts. And Your mind is very powerful and it plays a lot of tricks on you, and they make you think the worst things. I promise you, like, I was thinking the worst things ever when I was going through it mentally. And I think back to where I was this time last year, and oh my god, nothing compared to how I am now, like, at all. Like, I am a completely different person than I was last year, and I'm just so happy and grateful that I'm here and I get to talk about things and have these like moments of like gratitude and realization of like how shitty things were and how they're not as shitty anymore. And you know, we just had to keep going forward. And if you are going through it mentally, please reach out to somebody. Please talk to someone, because I promise you, like, there's people there that love you and care about you. You just have to reach out. You just have to reach out. You might think that there's no one there to love you and to care about you, but I promise you, there is. And yeah, but yes, I'm okay mentally. I promise you, like, these are more like happy tears than anything. I'm not sad anymore. I'm not where I used to be, and I'm just glad that I'm not, because like I said, it was a very, very hard time. Hard time. Okay, on to the next question. Let me get myself together a little bit. So I touched myself up a little bit because I had completely messed up my makeup. On to the next question. Why did you stop posting on YouTube? I just stopped. I felt like people were really not interested in YouTube anymore, and I just didn't really feel like I was putting out good content that people were happy with. Or, you know, I feel like when you create content, you have to be consistent, and it is something that, like, you have to be thinking about what you should be doing all the time, what kind of content you should be creating. So it's like, it gets hard to be creative, and I just was not really happy. And people like to talk a lot of shit, and you know, around that time I wasn't really the best mentally, that I just felt like I needed to disconnect from the YouTube world or social media in general and just take a step back. And that's why I decided not to be posting on YouTube anymore. But I'm glad that I'm back. I'm glad that I'm here now, and I feel like I did need to take that little break for me to just like snap back into reality. And I've been enjoying it. I like it. I feel like I'm such in a different place in my life where it's like, I want to create content. I want to be putting things out for you guys, and especially for my TikTok girls, like, me and y'all are like this. I fuck with you guys so heavy, and I appreciate you guys' love and support. You guys have motivated me and pushed me to come back onto YouTube, and I'm so happy like that I am. There's so much to come. There's so much that I'm doing, and I want to share it with you guys and have you guys be a part of it with me in this new journey of life that I'm in. So I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that we're back. I'm glad that we're like constantly posting. I've only posted a couple videos which are just more like vlogs, but I do want to do more sit downs and chit chat with you guys, because I feel like you guys really enjoy it. That's the reason why I love being on TikTok, because I get to really interact with you guys and just be myself, and you guys are just there to support me and love me, and I love you guys so very much. And yeah, now moving on to the next question. Are you single? Do you have a boyfriend? Who is it have you been posting? Guys, we are officially taken. I am now in a relationship with an amazing man. I met him last year in August, and we made it official, or he made it official, in the last week of September, and I couldn't be happier. Honestly, he is one of the reasons why I'm so happy, and he's just an amazing man, and I'm very, very grateful that I met him, because he's so good to me and I appreciate him so much. And baby, if you're watching this, I know I can be such a bitch sometimes, but I still love you. He's so good. I'm very grateful, like I said, that I met him, because he's just very like patient and reassuring and kind, and yeah. So I am no longer for the streets. I am officially cuffed. And yeah, that's who you guys have been seeing on my social media. I have been posting him a little bit more. I was a little iffy about posting him just due to the fact that like I said, people are mean and they're very judgmental, and just they like to have an opinion about everything and just talk shit. And I feel like I don't like when people talk about the people that I care about, and he is somebody that I care about so much that I would hate for somebody to really be saying things, like really rude things. And people do, there has been comments and there has been people saying stuff, but I am choosing to ignore it, because at the end of the day, like, I know who I'm with, or you know what I mean. So I feel like I try to ignore those conversations or those comments about like my boyfriend, my relationship and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm in a very happy and healthy relationship, and that is all. The last and final question is, what do you do for work? So for a while I was working for EXO Cosmetics, but moving back here to my hometown, it did get a little bit harder for like us coming to like me creating content and things like that. So I'm no longer working for EXO Cosmetics at the moment. Maybe eventually come back. Blanca has been telling me that she misses me, so those are probably gonna lead to something. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on social media and posting on social media for you guys, and just trying to be consistent on here and creating content, because like I said, I really do enjoy it. And I feel like me working for EXO Cosmetics for a while really put me into perspective of how to create content and how to get my more of like a creative side out of me. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot more. I am very particular about certain things, so yeah, and that's what I'm doing now. There's a couple things that I do, like graphics and stuff like that. So if you guys ever need any like graphics, invitations and stuff like that, I do that as well. So if you guys ever need anything for your businesses and stuff like that, so yeah, that's what I really like to do as well, which eventually I do hope to make it into like a full-time thing, because I love helping people like be more creative and putting out content and all that good stuff when it involves like graphics, video content, picture content, everything and anything. So yeah, that is just my little life update, and it was something short and sweet. Those are honestly just a couple of questions that I've been getting that I feel like everybody wanted to know, and everybody was just trying to figure out like where I've been, where I'm at, all of that stuff. So yeah, I thought it was finally time, and I'm glad that I recorded this video just to chat with you guys. If you guys do have any more other questions, let me know in the comments down below. I do want to do a Q&A with my boyfriend, because you guys have been asking us a lot of questions about how it's been, what led to what, how did we meet, and all that. So if you guys want to know any juicy questions for my boyfriend and I, let us know in the comments. We will definitely do a video very soon. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry if I got a little emotional. This is why I don't like talking about my feelings, because I am such a crier. But you know, sometimes it's good to talk about our feelings, right? But I just hate that this video led me to cry. I was not planning on crying. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for the biggest support and the love that I get day to day on my social medias, and I'll see you guys on my next video.